It's okay. So here we go. We'll know for next time.
Okay.
We got music. We live.
We live?
We're live, Dad.
We live. Okay. We are back and live.
Yes.
This is Speaking the
Cue the music. No, I'm
Charlie and JR. And of course, I am JR. That's Charlie over there. How you doing, Charlie?
Hey, Dad.
All right, what's going on? So what's going on with you today?
Today, let's see. What did I do today? I went to the gym and got Trey's birthday / graduation parties finalized for Saturday. And it's had a good day.
So you're about to be an empty nester, huh?
Yes.
Y'all see that smile? Look at
Yeah, I know, right? He will be off to school.
Yeah, so what you gonna do with all that empty nest?
I plan to, huh? Oh yeah, she said get wasted. No, I plan on roller skating more. I plan on taking up knitting.
Okay.
No. Yeah, she's like, whatever.
Yes, we are back, and I want to acknowledge our alter egos. We are the Fly Guy and the Fly Girls. I am, don't call it a comeback because I have been fly.
That's right.
That's Fly Money over there on the other side. We got the third Fly Girl over there in the back, Kim, our producer. This shit's Fly. What's up, Kim?
What's up with it?
Over there on the they see. Oh, she being a little loud today.
Yes, she is. She's woke. Remember, she sleep.
So, but without any further ado, I think I'm gonna let you introduce our guest, Charlie.
Okay, so hey y'all, thank y'all again for coming back to watch us on Speaking the Facts. I have a special guest, one of my besties here, Miss Christy Dean, Miss Christy Ann. Can I tell you your government name?
Government name. I don't have nothing to hide.
So, Kim, the phone is far. So Miss Christy Dean, I've known our sons have been friends since they were 3 years old. And so, and through their friendship, we became friends. And so we really have watched one another as we've matured in life. Yes. And so over the time, I mean, you've done so much. You're an actress. Yes. You've written plays.
Yes.
You probably have like 99 jobs. You're never turning down a job. She's never turned down a job. So I thought it'd be, did we have to beg you to come on?
No, you did not. This is what I do. I had my own radio show for 3 years. So
yeah,
you have to include that.
Yeah, so this was perfect. So
yes.
Yeah, just put in the chair. So with that, I asked Miss Christy, I was like, I want you to come on and, we can we love having good conversation. And you never back away from a conversation.
No, never. I'm a talker. That's
She's
what I
talker. Do. So what do you want to talk about first?
Well, I guess more so my acting career.
Okay.
Starting there.
Okay.
A lot of people don't get to live their dream.
Mm-hmm.
And for me to be bipolar 1, because a lot of people don't admit that either. As Black people, we have a tendency to say, oh, no, don't go to counseling, or oh, no, don't go to therapy. Right. Oh, no, don't take that medicine because we're church people.
Right.
And it's all really, really tedious if you think about it. But at the end of the day, I like to prove to people that you can have a chemical imbalance in your brain and you can still achieve your dream in life.
And I remember when you were already acting when I met you, but you were not as full in it as you are now. Like I've watched you grow into this actress and even a writer of her own play over the years.
Yes.
But I will say that through your acting, as far as living your dream, no pun intended or no shot taken, but, you honed in on that skill to, hey, I can be different people. I can get up on stage and I can be the doctor. I can be the librarian. I can be the whatever you need to be.
Yes.
You can get into character. So
Yes.
you took maybe what many people will take as a weakness and made it into a strength for yourself.
Yes, I did. I did do that. And I've been acting since 2011. So that's 13 years.
Mhm.
But I saw on the Facebook memory line last week, May 20th marks exactly 6 years ago. I did my very first play, Marrying for the Wrong Reasons.
I remember that.
And
She made me buy a whole bunch of tickets, y'all.
yes, she had to buy tickets. If you can't make it, still buy tickets.
I had to support.
I actually gave away 75 tickets.
I
And
bought
we had a
mine.
sold out show. She bought them for somebody that couldn't afford it. But yeah, so we had a sold out show for that one. It was at Hall of State. Like I say, the name of it was Marrying for the Wrong Reason, because I wanted to focus on people don't have a shotgun up to their back anymore by the dad saying, you got my daughter pregnant, so you got to marry her. So one couple got married only because they had kids together. Another couple got married. I twisted it. Instead of the woman marrying the man for money, the other couple, it was a woman with money and her husband married her for money.
Right.
Because that's a lot going on now too, where we have a lot of men that expect you to take care of them.
I
Whole
know.
nother subject.
And there's a whole other, I came across a TikTok and someone was saying, this woman gets paid and she gives her husband her whole check and then he gives her $300 to live on. I was like, what happened?
Exactly.
Like-
So we dealing with stuff like
I
that.
was like,
Yeah.
You said that all of a sudden because you know I'm a old Warner Brothers cartoon fanatic. So you said that all of a sudden there's a Bugs cartoon where he whips out his calculator and he's like,
yeah, exactly.
It just don't add up.
It just don't add up. If I gotta work and give you my whole paycheck for you,
I don't think so.
Back.
I don't
Yeah,
think so.
yeah,
So
yeah.
that is just
What about 350?
no.
not barter system, right?
Right, not at all. So that doesn't work. And then our third couple, of course, we just let them get married and we kind of pushed the button a little bit because we went ahead and did, not only was he a pastor, he was in a fraternity, but he was living a down low life. So when his wife came to tell him that she was pregnant finally, because she had been trying to conceive, he had another man in bed with him. So that was a whole nother surprise. But you
Right.
can see this play on YouTube, Marrying
See?
for the Wrong Reason.
And I've been telling her since she's been acting, to please, allow me to have a spot.
She
I
wants
really
a
feel that I could be a great actress. I feel like I'd be, just give me like 6 lines. I could do it.
Right.
And she's like,
And that's something that's really funny because a lot of people look at us as actors and we get offended, believe it or not,
It's a
because
craft. It's a
people
skill.
think that they can just do it. Like they feel like, this is easy. We could get out here and we could do it. And they don't understand it's blood, sweat, and tears. Acting career here in Dallas, and then you have Detroit. You have a lot of places. I know y'all watch probably Tubi movies. I got so many friends. I'm in 3 Tubi movies myself because I am trying to venture out from just plays and do movies. So you
didn't know
venture
that,
out
did you?
and you
No, I did not.
So
Yes.
you're like learning a lot, aren't you?
I am.
Because your dad used to do plays
right. I
back
remember
in the
that.
day. Back in the day.
I remember your
Back in the day.
See, that was an old joke in case you didn't know. But being bipolar 1, how does that affect your acting? How does it affect your career?
Okay, so here's the thing. I would love to say to infinity and beyond, I can do it all. I do it all, but I have a limit because one, I'm 45. So I'm going up against 20 and 30-year-old actors who have a powerful mind that can remember lines like crazy. So they'll take on 2 to 3 projects at one time. Me being bipolar and trying to make sure I get rest and that I'm not running and not getting rest because then you wind up in a mental institution and it's not worth it. So I have to take on 1 project at a time. So I am limited, but I still live my dream. I still act. And right now I got more than 1 project. But the last time I tried to do 2 projects, I literally lost a whole day of sleep. And that's not healthy for anybody that needs their rest. So at the end of the day, I am challenging myself to do a little bit more. But I also have to always remember that you have a limit. Not that you can't do it. It's just that you have to remember I can't do it all, like a whole lot. You can't put a lot on your plate because I do have to rest. I do have to sleep. I am a mom.
Right, in order for the bipolar not to go in.
Right.
So you mentioned you didn't want to, you wanted to make sure you get your rest so you don't end up in an institution. So
Right.
let's talk about that if you're okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
because winding up in an institution, I haven't been committed now for 17 years
Right.
because of my son.
That's right.
He is my reason to live. He's my reason to live, but he's also my reason to die. Don't
Right.
mess with him.
That's
You
right.
can mess with me, but don't mess with my kid. You know.
Right.
But I only have one child, and of course, I almost died having him. So I decided not to have any more children. But
Mhm.
that's a challenge because I actually have an aunt in the family that was like, "You're bipolar, you don't need to have kids." But it's a lot of people out here bipolar with kids. That's not a limit.
Right.
But what I am saying is that if you have multiple hats, I'm mom, I'm actress, I'm all of these things. And then, like you say, I'll work a job and do anything anybody asks me to do
Right,
if it's money, So at the end of the day, you have to have the sleep and the rest in order for you, and then take your meds. Now, let me say that because the times that I was committed over and over and over again before my son was conceived or born, and this is over 17 years ago, I stayed in and out in many institutions.
But you weren't
Stayed.
taking your medicine.
I wasn't taking my meds
Right.
because you had church people telling you don't take meds.
Right. But I think too, even with, you made sure you got a good support system.
Very much so.
You got a girl tribe out of this world.
I do. And Charmaine's in it, and I love it. I love it. Like my friends, literally, they say if you can find one friend in life, you're doing good. One real friend in life.
Right.
And I have about 5.
Mhm.
I have one that works for the FBI. I met her in 1997.
I know, right? Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
that's my friend that like, you better not do nothing. I'll get her to run your name. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, so I have her, and then I have Charlamagne. I have my friend Nicole, who is like, well, you guys are all
You said my
career.
name.
Oh, I'm sorry. I love her. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I didn't say
But
her
hey,
name.
Nicole. No, I'm teasing.
But hey, look, Nicole's probably watching. But I have my friend
No,
Nicole.
you said
so
you don't
she is
mention no
great.
men's names.
No, we're not mentioning men names. No, I don't male bash. I don't believe in it. But at the end of the day, I have my friends. And when I say that they actually look out for me, they actually say, hey, like even Charlamagne can tell you, something's wrong with her. Like they literally know when I'm spiraling down or if I'm having a moment.
I'd be like, calm down, Christy.
Yeah.
You're about to.
Yeah, because I don't deal with the depression a lot, but I deal with the manic a lot. Like that's the thing I deal with. And depression would be more dangerous because that's when people try to kill themselves and all that. I've never done that. But when I deal with the manic, you have to be so very careful because you can become self-destructive or you can become destructive toward your friends and family and things of that nature.
Right.
So describe the manic part of it. What is
Manic is high. Like now, I won't drink coffee unless I'm trying to wake up for a job or something because I will be just jumping off the wall. And then if I haven't had sleep and I go to her house and I'm and I mean running at about 99 miles per hour, they pick it up and know she must haven't had sleep.
Right.
It must be something wrong. Because at the end of the day, the manic it's not as bad
It's
as
manic
depressed.
with feistiness.
Yeah, and it's feistiness. And you better not get into it with me.
Yeah.
And I'm manic. You better not, because then I will try to annihilate you. Like, so at the end of the day, I'm not a mean person like that. I'm not mean spirited. But if I haven't had my sleep, and if my medicine is not worn off, I'm not that kind of a person.
Yeah. No, so people like, hold on, chill a minute, Christy. And then she'd be like, okay, am I doing, yes, you're doing something.
I'm very dramatic.
So then you have to make sure that you take your medicine and things so that it is working when during project time, during when you're.
Oh yeah,
she does her medicine every day.
I take my meds every day, not just doing a project only, because at the end of the day, you still have to be balanced. So at the end, I cannot be balanced without my medication. But remember, I just said when I take it, I got to make sure I sleep it off. Because if I wake up and I did not get my sleep, now we're spiraling down. It's never a good thing to not get your sleep. Mm-hmm. That's what the medicine is for. It's basically saying, I need you to lay down. I need to calm your mind down. And you need to get rest and sleep, or you're not going to be effective in any kind of way.
So you're learning something new.
Well, I am. I'm taking it all in. And,
right? And as my dad's favorite saying, let me chew this around between cheek and gum, let me,
Right.
yeah, and
Right.
see, what we come up with. So then, Christy, then obviously we know that you love acting. We know that you love being on stage. It gives you the ultimate high.
It does.
It's the ultimate high. So then the next thing is dating.
Oh my goodness. Bipolar and dating. Okay, so this is
Look at
funny.
that. Like that.
This is
Like-
funny because I have a guy friend that Charlamagne knows. I know we can't say names.
We cannot say
I have a
names.
guy friend that she knows that I just literally had this conversation with him last week. When we first started dating, we met each other like 5 years ago, October, but we started dating August 20th will be 4 years. Started actually seeing each other. And I started staying at his home and spending the night with him. And I told him last week, I feel horrible because I kept him up a lot of nights, jumping in my sleep, thinking that I'm dying. Now, these are side effects. See, we don't talk about side effects. And so before I go to sleep good, I'm actually walking the floor. I'm starving, so I'm going to be in your kitchen. So I try to bring snacks if I'm spending the night because the medicine makes you very, very hungry. Right. And so you got to have food. And so I feel bad because I actually told him. And so now he told me, and it's so funny. He has to check women cabinets, dresser drawers, the medicine cabinet. He said, I got to make sure. And I asked women, do you have any mental conditions? Now, the thing that's funny about that, at first he was so impatient with me.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's so calm, cool, collective. It was like he had to get used to it. But I felt bad because I was keeping this man up at night. Somebody that love they sleep, and you're waking them up. And I'll never forget another friend of mine that's like a mentor with men. And he was like, Christine, that's kind of horrible that you're keeping somebody up at night. Like, that's a lot. So we laughed about it last week. But he told me now he have to ask all women, do you have any mental conditions?
So look at
Well, I guess. So, do you like steak? Do you like movies? Do you have a mental condition?
Right. And he said they be like, what? But he said he's checking cabinets, he's checking medicine cabinets, he's checking dresser drawers. Like, he really does not want another mental dating experience. But I can honestly say, it is hard because I'm single. But at the same time, I'm learning not to tell guys right away because they do judge you, if that makes sense. And that was kind of what he did. He kind of judged it. Like, and we've been through a lot with this other woman too. And Charlamagne's been my friend there. And his whole thing was, I didn't choose her. And his whole thing was, well, she didn't have a mental condition. So that's why I say, but at the end of the day, this guy calls me all the time for all kind of business advice. He calls me when things need to be done and done right. Because at the end of the day, my bipolar disorder has never limited me from being smart, from being able to get things done.
Degree.
I have my college degree. I was the queen of my college. So I got to be in the Ebony magazine. I got to be a RA, a residential assistant. Like when I tell you that it has never stopped anything. So when you see that, but it's like, oh, so you judge me for being bipolar, but whenever you need business taken care of, you don't call her, you call me.
Well, I guess he's calling the person that has the skill set that he sees that he needs, I guess. I'm not justifying. We're just having a conversation.
Look, Dad's like, don't.
Look, we about to
fight. So she's not manic right now. You're good, Dad.
No, I'm not. I had plenty of sleep and I took a nap before I got here, just so I'm not manic. You're safe.
So, but Dad, so have you ever dated a woman with a mental condition that you know of?
Yes.
Did you purposely do it after she told you, or you left her after she told you? How did you find out?
One. I mean,
and was it diagnosed, or you just determined she had one?
Well,
Look at that. Like, this woman got problems. I'm moving on.
She told me that her name was Eva.
Uh-huh.
And
Hey, Eva.
We couldn't say names.
Yeah, we don't like that.
and she told
I'm pretty
me
sure she lives on the
that-
West Coast.
that she had an alternate ego, an alter ego named Taboo.
Oh,
And-
she told me.
And stuff like that. I mean, my alternate ego is the Tasmanian devil, but I don't go spinning through the walls. And stuff,
Right,
you know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
So,
my Taz he's on the beach, with his sunglasses and his Mai Tai. He's
he's chill.
He's chill. But she told me that she had this alter ego, and I kind of blew it off at first.
Mhm.
And she was she was a gorgeous woman. She had this sandy brown hair, these hazel eyes. We went skating once, and the little white kids was like, "Mommy, I want a doll like that."
Oh
You know,
yeah,
and
they're
she was
gorgeous.
really pretty.
Yeah.
And so we it was went on. We dated for a few weeks. She was at the house, and I had some army. I was in the army. I had some army buddies over,
Right.
Mhm.
and I was in an efficiency, so it had like a big closet with a bed in it and stuff, and uh, and she walked out, and there was my three friends are sitting there, and well, two and me. I'm sorry, and she walked out of this closet butt naked,
Oh
Mhm.
wow. Yeah.
and
She said, "Surprise, surprise."
my friends was like, they was like, Mama, look at the time. I got a roast in the oven now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
You know, they were just so in shock. And so after that, I began to see more of Taboo after that first time. And she also could draw. She drew a bust of me that was beautiful. Put it
Uh-huh.
in a frame and everything.
right.
And I got home one day, and I lived on the 6th floor, and she was in the window, and she saw me, and she took these scissors and cut the head off the bust, and it floated down because it was a
Oh
drawing. You know?
yeah, yeah,
So my head is floating down.
yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I've had that situation. I've never done the naked thing, but I've seen other people who have had to get arrested for running the street naked. But they do normally take those people straight to a mental institution because that is a sign. If you get naked in front of people and just run, it's a sign that
That
it's
being your
something
body, that
wrong.
meant- I mean,
she,
okay.
she didn't run. She walked out just like she had the knitting needles. It was like normal.
Right.
No, it wasn't no running.
It was
Was she
Beloved.
having an
Beloved was a-
episode though to be just walk out naked?
There was no,
I don't know if they
there
can
was
remember
no
back
warning.
that far. I'm
There
saying
was no
no.
warning.
My old joke, you missed it. I said, I don't know if you can remember back that far. No.
See? You did it for me. But no, there was no warning. No emotional upheaval. Nothing. She
Right.
walked into the closets and came out naked,
Wow.
and sat down. It wasn't like she came out naked and was like, "Oh, excuse me, I don't have any clothes on."
Right,
So,
yeah, she forgot. Oops.
It was like what's the story of the king's clothes where he
Right.
he didn't have on his clothes. Everybody told him his suit looked good.
Right.
Well,
Yeah.
but yeah, she just kind of walked out and sat there, kind of was doodling, and
So how long did y'all date then?
it was a few weeks. It was
Yeah, it wouldn't take long. Yeah.
Short-lived.
Yeah.
Short-lived.
Yeah.
Well, and so so now that you were saying that you don't really lead with that anymore, and
I
that
learned to stop.
Yeah,
Because
so-
a lot of people judge you from it. I even hide my medicine. That's maybe why he said he go looking in different drawers. But like, I don't want to tell people you're on medication because, like I said, the judgment part of it comes
Mhm.
first, and it's weird because at the end of the day, to me, it's something wrong with all of us
well.
That's
in
true.
some kind of way.
Let me ask a question, because you said you used to say and now you don't say. And this is just throwing it out there, but it seems like maybe that telling people would be the best thing, because if you don't tell them, then you get these short-lived things, these short-lived encounters. You go through it a few weeks and you tell them, and then they fizzle out anyway. And then you meet another person and you go through this period, 2 or 3 week period, and then you tell them, and then they fizzle out.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because if they're going to be, and I learned this is a Texas saying, they're going to be cut for you.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Texas.
Kept for you.
If they're going to
You
be cut
kept
for
for
you,
me.
then I would tell them and let because at least that way, if they're not going to be patient, then you're not wasting that. You're wasting those.
Yeah, because that's almost like having to tell somebody you have children and letting them meet the children. So it's serious in that matter. That's why I
Mhm.
used to always tell people, because I want to give you the option. I would want to know, and then like I say, if you start dating and all of that, if somebody's spending the night or you're spending the night with them, because I'll tell people I don't spend the night. I don't spend the night at strange places, but I do remember dating recently and spend the night at a strange place, and I'll just get up out the bed with you and go get on the couch. I do it at home. I just get out the bed and I'll go get on the couch. But then I also at night, when it's getting ready to kick in, the medicine will walk the floor at night. I'm also hungry, so I'm going to be in refrigerators. I'm going to be looking for something to eat. So it's just a lot. So I think that if you tell somebody, then they'll be prepared for it. So that's why I used to tell. So you're just prepared and you know, hey, I'm going to walk the floor. Hey, I'm going to wake up in the middle of the night. Hey, I'm going to,
raid your fridge.
Yeah.
Right.
And when I get hungry.
But you know, like even when we traveled the last time, you know, you had your snacks in your purse. I remember waking up because, you know, waking up, looking at her, and, you know, in the bed on the other side. Look over there and she's in the bed, got her candy. I'm going back to sleep, you know.
Yeah, because I mean, if you tell people, she knows. If I go to your house, I'll try to just have, because I'm a diabetic too, so I'll just try to have candy in my purse. So that way, if I eat the candy, the sugar will keep me from getting too hungry.
Yeah.
So I don't have to go in your kitchen. So I don't have to raid, you know, your refrigerator. But yeah, so that's the thing. Like, these are the side effects of this, though. And so you want to tell people those things because you want them to know this is who I am. This is what I do. This is why I act the way I act. So I like to be an open book anyway. Yeah. So to me, I like to say it out front. But I'm learning a little bit to kind of see, let's see if this relationship is even going anywhere before I just reveal it.
Yeah, so are there any projects that you're doing now? Acting?
I am actually. Yes. I went out for a position as a mail lady, and I literally dressed like a mail lady. I went to our old mail lady Bunny that I'm sure you know because she used to live in my neighborhood, and she retired. And I said, she gave me the hat, the shirt, the socks.
And she still live at the Christian
Yes, she still live over. She still stay in the same spot in our neighborhood. And she gave me a mailbox, and she gave me a little mail truck, and I went in character. I'm auditioning for the mail lady. Well, I didn't get the mail lady. They gave me even better. They gave me the cop. They gave me a Western. I'm also going to be in the animated. And they gave me 2 other positions and one if one lady doesn't act right. So I literally got about 3 or 4 positions that I'm going to go to the tapering for. And I'm like, yay! And these are series. One of them is going to be called Fun Times. It's a spinoff of Good Times.
Okay.
So when I go June 2nd to this table read, I'm ecstatic because, like I said, I do plays. I love plays. Stage is my first love. But I want to venture out to movies and series, and I actually get paid for this one.
Right.
You don't just, because normally when you're
I know.
Yeah, that's a real. Yeah. Normally when you're in movies, you only get as an extra, you get fed and you get the IBMs, or so you get like the credit. When they roll your name, we get to take a picture, and maybe they'll let us in free at the screening. Yeah. Maybe some people are mean enough to charge us, which I think is wrong. By the way, please stop charging us. If we went in and stayed all day long, our time for free, and then you fed us, you know, and you gave us the credit.
You know how much a meal costs? I'm just teasing.
I know, right? Yeah, so that's what I'm doing now. I'm venturing out, and then I just got cast for a play that is actually touring. So we're going to Grambling University August 21st. And I am so excited because now that my son and her son are going off to college, this is now the time for me to say I can get in plays and tour.
And now I have time to take up acting.
I know. We're going to give her a line or something, y'all, in my next play, which should be called My Maintenance Man. So y'all stay tuned because I've done number 1, I've done number 2, and number 3 is in the making still.
And let me tell y'all, her last play was just so good.
Her husband went and actually enjoyed it, and he don't do plays.
Yeah, no, not at all. But
he laughed.
He laughed. He had a good time. I tell you, you know, just you have a great memory.
I do. Memory. Yes.
She does. And so she remembers every detail about dating, you know.
Yes.
And I think she probably has the best time, you know, laughing at the things that happen on Facebook dating, right? Like
Facebook dating, any kind of internet dating. And that's what this next one is about. You know, it's basically about my life as the internet dating or Facebook dating, or who have I met during that time and what happened with us and what was the outcome. So yeah, I have some funny stories. And in this second play that we did, How Many Frogs Do I Have to F to Get a Prince? It was so funny. Yeah, it was hilarious. But we did have a guy that actually called the police on me because I put his PlayStation outside. So his most valuable possession was a PlayStation.
this guy said?
He now he was younger because I was 40 and he was maybe 37.
Okay.
But I put his PlayStation out.
There goes. Wait a minute. 40, 37,
I
like.
thought she was gonna say
PlayStation.
younger at 37.
No, 37.
You thought she was a sugar mama?
Let me get this straight for the viewing audience. At 37, his most valuable possession was a PlayStation. At
Yes.
37.
Yes.
Yeah, he's like, yeah.
And he took me every Friday to the pawn shop to get it out the pawn shop on his payday.
Oh.
Every Friday.
Well,
Yeah.
He didn't have a
lot of
car.
things.
He didn't have a place of his own. And he lived with his dad because if his mom was living, he would live with her.
Did he have
So-
driving game?
He could drive.
Mhm.
But yeah, that's concerning. I don't want to laugh at him too much because that's
But we
That's
laughed, and we told the story in the play, and we also and we twisted it a little bit. And in the play, like I'm sitting there arguing with him about the PlayStation. He calls the police. They come and knock on the door, and so I said, "You the one with the warrants, and so you go to jail, you idiot. You go to jail because you had warrants, but you called the police on me."
I know a few people. I have seen a few people that have done that. Called the police on somebody else and they had warrants and they went to jail.
Yeah.
So y'all, if you got warrants, don't call the police. Be like me did. We don't call the cops.
Like, that's not gonna happen.
Right. So it's those type of stories. It's those type of things. So dating for me is hilarious. I call my friends and they be like, "Oh my goodness." But then it's also very fun because you get to go out there and you get to explore different things. Now, don't get me wrong. I've had a guy recently that left me with the bill at Applebee's.
Then we need to get up and go to the bathroom.
He said he going to the car to get his credit card.
Oh no!
Yes, and he was messing with his keys, so
And
he
messing
auto.
with his key, he started up his car. I saw it, and the car lights came on. He got in, and he left. And so I told the manager at Applebee's, he got him a 2 for $25. He left the meal here that he was taking home. Obviously, he just ordered it to be
Right.
deceptive. And I said, all I ordered was the $10 tacos. So the manager was black, and he was nice enough to make me only pay for the $10 tacos. But the bill was $45. This dude literally ordered a beer, ordered the 2 for $25, one to go and one to stay, and ate, burped, got up and told me, "You going home with me?" I said, "No, I'm not going home with you on the first date. I'll be back. My credit card is in the car." I already knew what he was getting ready to do.
Yo, my credit cards in the car trip.
And when he went
You know-
outside, you heard,
Uh,
"Real, he's gonna come now."
and he drove off.
And he drove off. And I was like, wow. So things like this happen. And then people tell you, you shouldn't date. You need to be careful. No, everybody's not a bad person.
No.
I'm very positive about
Everybody's
dating.
not a
Yeah,
bad
everybody's not a bad
But,
person.
wherever you met him, don't go back there. That's all.
Don't go back there. But that was Facebook, right?
That was Facebook dating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what are you doing? Why you got on Facebook dating?
Go to leave off the face. Let's go to book dating. But that's
Huh?
Stay out shit.
Hinge or Tinder?
I went to Tinder.
Okay.
Tinder is bad too.
Okay, so
Yeah.
what is Hinge? I've never heard of that before.
They say it's the dating app that you can get deleted because you date with the purpose on there. So
Okay.
most people on there are actually dating to like be in a real relationship.
Oh.
Okay, so y'all
I'm gonna have to look at
Hinge, dating,
Said,
HING.
H-I-N-G, yeah.
He's talking about Hinge as a dating app. He
Yes,
said- he said
Hinge.
dating with a purpose. I just want to know what's the purpose.
Relationship.
Purpose to have a relationship and not just be, because I will say this, 98, it's almost like DNA test, 99.9%, you get a 0.1 every now and then. But
Right.
99.9% of online dating, if they're not paying, is only to hook up for a booty call. I can honestly tell you that. And I've done the legwork.
So that's the dividing line. If they're paying, they're staying. If it's free,
They ain't staying, and they only are trying to hook up, and it's so crazy. Oh, the most funny story that I now have to put in my play
Mhm.
just happened to me last month. The guy comes over, and he's older.
Oh, yeah.
I'm 45. He's 52, And he lives with his mom and dad, first of all.
Oh,
So I was saying, hey, you can come over because I donate all this food. Charlamagne hooked me up with some pantries. And I'm like, I'll just donate food. I'm free. And I said, well, come pick it up because you live way in Fort Worth. I'm way where I am. I don't want, so he comes pick it up. And he says, well, I want to date you. Like, you're not going to be able to date anybody else. And you put on your profile that you want it to be serious. And he goes to his profile and say, I say, show me this profile. Because the profile that you saw me on Facebook dating, because things kept going wrong and the guy left me with the bill, I put, if you do not have your own place, if you do not have a car and you do not have a job, pass me up. That's all it says. This guy goes to the profile. Look, right here. I want to date, and I'm dating with a purpose, and it said Cynthia, 50 years old. Well, my name is Christy, and I'm 45, so he got kicked out.
so
Yeah.
so that was the story of the wrong address. Huh?
Right, yeah. And pulling up the profile and not making sure he's talking to the right person. Well, maybe when he left and you put him out, maybe he did make it to Cynthia's that night, and be like,
I hope he did, but he wasn't coming back or talking to me. He actually called me a 304.
304.
Oh, well, you turn it upside down. Yeah. So I was like, I'm a what? He said, yeah, because you date different people. You're supposed to date the same person. I want to date the same person, but you pulled up the wrong person.
Well, I mean, I was just saying, if you want to date the same person, why are you on Facebook dating? I mean, it's
Right.
it seems
And then you-
Like I said,
counterproductive to dating the same person.
and but you just took us back, Chris, at 304, and I'm like, I remember the pager, when
yeah,
you
when
page
somebody mad at me when I was a teenager in Houston, they would text 304, and you turn it upside down. They're calling you a name. So I just said that to be
yes,
have
Be
coof.
clever.
Yeah, to have
cool.
coof.
To be
Yeah,
clever.
instead of saying the word. But yeah.
Now
so.
last week, she said 304 the right way.
yeah. How many homes you got to get to?
Yeah. So basically, that's how her online dating goes. It's a lot of fun, but you have to know that most of these men, they just want a quick hookup and a quick booty call. And what was so crazy is I told this guy, like, you can come get this food, but what you need to know, I'm not going to have sex with you. I'm not looking to have sex with you, because I had to learn before that a few months ago with an African guy that took me to one of my favorite restaurants. That's what I normally make them do, Hillstone. And he said, well, I'm going to come over the next day. We're going to Netflix and chill. Why come I didn't know that when I Googled Netflix and chill, I called all my friends. I said, did y'all know when you Google Netflix and chill, it means ends in casual sex? It tells you that when you Google it. I just learned something new.
Let's see, I'm out of touch. I thought that meant watch a movie and chill.
No. People, listen to me. Do not tell somebody you want to Netflix and chill.
So did you know?
He said no comment.
But at that time, obviously, I was not trying to date with the purpose.
Okay, so he wasn't dating.
But you knew what it meant, Netflix and chill.
Yeah, I'm 30 years old.
So you knew it meant sex.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Oh,
Kim?
Well,
And I had to kick that man out too. Because he was like, it's all your fault. You should have known Netflix and chill
I
meant
learned a
sex.
lot from this lady today.
He learned about 304. Netflix and chill.
Because I have a date tomorrow for lunch, so I will not say let's go Netflix and chill.
Yes.
Don't use it.
it.
Don't say it, because I said it and the guy was like, it's all your fault. You were supposed to end this night giving me some.
Oh.
I was like, what?
And on that note, I wanted to let y'all know what Charlie and I are sipping on. This is Paso Robles. It is a Cabernet Sauvignon.
Sauvignon. Mhm.
And actually, this was a decent bottle of wine.
It's very good, yes.
So anyway, I wanted to give them their props. This is good wine. So.
Good wine. We enjoyed it. So now, Christy, so if someone is maybe struggling with maybe their emotions, because a lot of times you thought that you were just being emotional, not really, you hadn't been diagnosed, you were younger growing up, and then you obviously, by going through the things that you went through, you learned. So how does a person, if they want to know if they're bipolar, how do they get that figured out? I mean, what would you recommend that they do?
So
Or if
now
they have
it's all about acceptance, admittance, all of that, because at this point you would want to actually go and get diagnosed by going to a psychiatrist. I know a lot of people say we shouldn't believe in that in our culture, but I would beg of you to go and see and get tested. And if that is the case, and you know you're spiraling out, get on medication. It does help.
So
It
what-
hurts, but it helps.
So what? How? So and when you say get tested, like what is being tested? Yeah. What?
Well, I would say, like I said, bipolar is also called manic depression. So if you're dealing with manic depression, now I wouldn't say depression only because we have millions of Americans and people everywhere deal with depression. So I wouldn't say depression only, but if you know you're having highs and you know you're having lows, then go get tested.
So what is being tested? What is it? Is it a series of questions? So maybe a person who's wondering, what is being tested? What can they expect if they're going to get tested to see if they are bipolar? What is tested?
Well, it's so many questions that the doctors ask, and so I would just say
It's a lot of tests.
Yeah, just like
questions.
if we took a kid to see if they have ADD or ADHD.
So it's questions. Okay.
It would just be a series of questions that they would ask, and I'm sure at that point they would let them know you passed the test for being bipolar, just like a
Right.
kid would for
Right.
being ADD, ADHD. You have to actually take that test and
Right.
see.
I was just going to say there's one thing that I'm glad that you said, and that is to seek counseling, because
Yeah.
a lot of African Americans don't seek counseling
Because we're taught it's wrong.
Right.
or we're just too proud. Even if
Right.
we're not taught it's wrong,
Mhm.
Right.
we're just too proud.
Mhm.
And all things in moderation,
Yes.
including counseling.
Yes.
I mean, you can go to counseling for years and not get anything out of it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But finding your way back home is a good
Mhm.
thing. And counseling
Yes.
helps us do that.
And
Counseling helps us
and
find our way
also
back
the
home.
other thing is, you guys, no matter what, you need your rest. Like you need your rest, because
You
people
have
who
to.
maybe are not bipolar, if they don't get their rest, they will, they
Yeah.
will. It's sleep. It heals the body, and you definitely need your rest, no matter not. So I think that's just important too, just to make sure that in our busy lives, so we don't get thrown off, that we do get our rest.
Right, and that's with anybody.
Yeah.
Even if
yeah.
you're not bipolar, you would need to get sleep. You would need to get rest. Otherwise, we start hallucinating, and all sort of things can happen. So you don't want that.
Like,
happening.
did I just see that?
Yeah.
And y'all both mentioned busy lives, and
Mhm.
in order to even know if you need to be screened for counseling or need to be screened for something, you have to spend some time with yourself. In this world, we just go, or we're watching a movie, or we're doing the social media thing, or we're doing this, or we're doing that, but we're not spending time listening to our own bodies.
Right.
How is our physical health? Your body will tell you if you'll slow down and listen to it. How's
Yeah.
our mental health? If you slow
Right.
down, you can kind of begin to
Right.
deal with the what kind of thoughts are coming into my head on a regular basis.
Right.
Yes, because you don't want to wind up
Yeah.
like me. I had to find out about mines, of course, graduating from college. Everybody was getting married, I was going to baby showers, bridal showers, housewarmings, weddings. Like everybody was having that happen for them. They had their career. I was just a substitute teacher, which I felt like I'm nothing because I didn't get a career, because as soon as I graduated, September 11th happened, and I had my degree in communication. At that time, radio and television was firing everybody because of September 11th, not hiring.
Yeah.
And so I was like, God, I'm just a failure. And so I wound up having a nervous breakdown. And I learned the scripture that says, compare yourselves not one to another. In so doing, it is not wise.
Right.
I would never compare myself to her or anybody else now, because I had to learn the hard way.
I'm glad because we are all unique. We have an omnipresence to our lives. There are parts of our lives that are similar, that we can glean from. That way, just like you get old. See, I don't have to. See, I can but no. But I mean, but there's parts of our lives.
And nothing gets old but clean when they come back in the style. Right.
They do.
But there's parts of our lives that we, I can, if you get hit by a car walking across the street, I don't have to I can say, oh, well, if she didn't look for cars, they wouldn't have got hit. I can learn by watching you.
Right.
That's a
but
great
there's some
example, by the
parts of
way.
our lives that are very, very unique
Right.
and very different and separate.
Right.
And we need to get in touch with those parts. The parts that are similar, those are the parts that everybody dances around,
Mhm.
but the parts that make us who we are,
Right.
we don't want to look at them, and we don't want anybody else looking at them.
Right.
That's really what causes a lot of need for counseling, in my humble opinion. Taking the time to get to know yourself brings peace. I know it has for me.
Right.
You know?
And will normally wind up in mental institutions is because you try to be someone that you're not.
Right.
So, yeah.
Right.
Right.
How we doing? Two?
What time is it?
See?
It is 7:57.
It is
Oh, wow.
7:57.
Okay.
We got 2 minutes. So, is there anything that we need to let anybody know, or is there anything
Yeah.
you want to let somebody know? Are you appearing anywhere, or?
Well, that's why I said be on the rise. Right now, I have Facebook page. If you want to go to my name and send me a friend request, it's Christy Dean, CHRISTY.
And I
And then
promise you, her page is
DEAN.
comedy sometimes.
Yeah, it is.
It's comedy.
But the comedy should stop at this point because I've reconciled with the person, but we shall see. But yeah, right now the comedy has stopped. But what you will see is that I'm getting ready to do some great projects. I'm getting ready to be in some series, some animated pictures. Like I say, Good Times, Spinoff, Fun Times. That's a series. Of course, animated where I'll have my voice, and then I'm going to do cop, and then we're doing a Western. So I am so excited about June 2nd coming up. I'll have more information once I
On
go
the
to this
page.
table read.
Well, we thank you for coming in, stopping by,
thank you.
speaking the facts, and sharing your story. We the past couple of weeks we've talked a lot about mental health,
Yes.
and we've had
Yes.
a couple of people come in, and so there is a difference. What we learned is there is a difference between a life coach and an actual certified counselor.
Okay.
So if you are wondering if you are bipolar or have any mental anything, is definitely make sure you reach out to a licensed therapist, not a
Not just a life coach on the
like a life coach, a licensed therapist, because that's who can truly diagnose you, could test you.
Yes.
And so, with that being said, this was Speaking the Facts, and we've been speaking the facts.
Yes,
Yes.
we have. And we will be back next week. Same
Fact
facts
time,
Same facts channel.
and you gotta love who?
Gotta love yourself, because when you do,
You can love somebody else. And I've been talking about this. It's easier to love somebody else. I messed it up there.
well, it's okay. You cleaned it up.
I cleaned it up.
You got
No,
our-
I got it. And and here on my page, Charlamagne Armstrong, you can follow me on all my social media. I've been talking about love every day, the 23 things of what love is. So, definitely y'all follow. And
We'll get on the other 22 next week.
there you go.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, thank you for coming.
Hopefully somebody was helped.
I hope so too.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So until next week, again, this is Speaking the Facts with Charlie and JR. I almost say Chris, with Charlie and JR. And
Speak into existence.
I know.
next week. See
All right.
y'all then.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.